So I guess I'm after the language.
No, I didn't speak about that. What do you mean? There's many colors. You have the first 30.
I know. I'm talking about cover for us. Like a lot of the 30 colors
After the main colors?
Yeah.
We do it also.
You do have to.
Yeah, but that's only just in case to the yotes of people that missed.
Yeah, and also to involve with the Sultan. They'll get messy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a 30 extra.
Also after that.
Yeah, after that. Yeah.
See, we're all some the same.
Boston or Chabad. I don't know about anybody else.
Okay. We're still in the midst of learning different halachis of Tekiyah Shofar. Now there's a famous shach in Hilchis Mila that says if someone is a moil, you know normally when you have a little boy, you call up a moil, and you ask him to do the bris for you. And we say shliach shalom kamoisai because the father's mitzvah to do the bris. And you yaitz the mitzvah because you mamam him a shliach, you appoint him to be your agent, and that way he fulfills the mitzvah on your behalf. But the shach says that if you yourself are a moil, you're not supposed to be mamam a shliach. No, because mitzvah by yaitz mishluchai. The mitzvah is incumbent upon you more than your shliach. So what happens if you know how to blow shofar? What do? Do you blow on your own, or do you yaitza from, let's say, you're going to shul, and he's going to be blowing for you, the Baal Tekeya. Yesh l'stapik im yesh hidel et koye shofar ba'asma mishum mitzvah ba'yosim shluchim. Maybe you should do it better by yourself. Maybe you can kind over here, the Ikka mitzvah is not the blowing of the shofar, but it's to hear it. We say, L'shmoya kol shofar. What's the difference? If you blow it yourself, how are you being yotzed? Through your blowing or through your hearing? Your hearing. Everybody hears the blowing of the shofar. The blowing is part and parcel of the mitzvah, meaning not the way we understand it in simple terms, that you're just listening, but you actually, it's like Kriyas HaMegillah to a certain extent, that Shemei Ka'ina, and therefore it's as if you said it yourself. There's going to be a mitzvah for you to do it more than your shliach.
What does it mean?
Huh?
What does that mean? What does that friend say?
We just mentioned the headings. We didn't get into the details. So Rav Shmuel says, you do a plutus hachroimin, imitzis tikiyah shofar rak hashmiya or gam hatkiyah. There's a machlokes whether it's the listening to the shofar or it's also the actual blowing in part to the listening. The b'milchas chinuch b'shem ha'kapos t'morim b'sifra yoim truah shepulas hatakiyu gam kein chelik b'mitzvah. Because it says yoim truah, a day of blasting, meaning you blast the shofar, and therefore it's part of the. It's also part of the chelik of the mitzvah. However, b'shagas arya or b'shalas tshuva sigir Moshe lo'id achronim arichu b'zeh b'nei misha mitzvah higam peulas hatikiyah al kol shatikiyah hu begeder shliach shel hashayim. At the end of the day, there's a big difference. If that's part and parcel of the mitzvah, so basically, it's not just that the Baal Tekei is blowing for you. He, of course, is going to be yaitzu with his brach, but he's listening. You heard it. No, it's more. He's actually fulfilling a shlichus that he's blowing on your behalf. That he's the agent for blowing of the shofar. So if you yourself know how to blow, then maybe you should blow on your own accord. If it's just listening, we'll begin the Shemei Ka'inu Kedaima and Ken Yishleim. Shem is never Shemitzu Yosem Shuluchah. Kashmiyim is Kayemis Ayideh Shemei Ba'asmai. Veim is a Shum Torah Shlichus. At the end of the day, it's neither here nor there that he's blowing. It's just a hechetimsa to be able to hear the shofar. Once you hear the shofar, he doesn't have to have. You're hearing it just as much as he is. So there's no extracurricular over here that he's your agent on that part. Okay. So let's see how he looks at it.
Normally you have Mikra Megillah that Shemei Ka'onis, so he's being moitzi. Shemei Ka'onis.
Yeah.
He's being moitzi. Like you're not doing anything to the meeting. You're telling me I'm making you my agent doing that. You have nothing to do with doing the actual verse. Or by Kedushin.
I'll state the question.
When you have a shliach, normally it comes to shlichus. You're not doing the action. You have nothing to do with the action.
Yeah, but it's a mitzvah b'yosim b'shlucha.
But when it comes to shlichus, you're not doing the ma'aseh. You're giving it over to somebody else to do it.
So that's right. And he's just fulfilling the mitzvah for you.
You don't have to be there.
You don't have to be there.
You don't have to be there, no.
Over here, you are doing something.
I know. What?
But I go ahead and tell him, okay, you'll blow the shofar for me, I'm gonna go home.
No, you can't.
So how's the shlichus?
I hear what you're asking. It's a good question. It's a little bit different gedda of shlichus. Well, the same thing with the Megillah. Megillah, you can't say, okay, I'm making you a shliach to hear the Megillah. Shemei Kaina, right? I hear what you're saying. So, let's see how he says it. Right? It's a good question. Hine issa b'shulchan Shabbos. In Kiddush b'beisai. What happens if you're making Kiddush in your house? In your house, you're minding your own business, and you're making for your mishpacha Kiddush. V'shamish chayne v'shulchane arch lefanav yotzebah. That let's say his neighbor had his windows open, the windows were open, and he heard his Kiddush, and he has his own table set in front of him. You yotzeh. Let's say you made up with your neighbor. I'm bedridden. I'm stuck in my house. I can't make Kiddush. Do me a favor and let me open your window, and I'll open my window. When you make Kiddush, I'll be yotzeh. So you yotzeh. Kosom ha'magen Avram da'aftul chatchil yochel kadosh v'beisai kedeshmu v'afilu hu ein oichel. That l'chatchila you can do that in order that other people should hear, even if he himself doesn't eat, meaning the person who's making the Kiddush, because you're being mighty the person who is eating. Because of your rabbi, the Magen Avram Mari Dafki Shekhinah Eni Yedei L'Kaddish. The Magen Avram, the your rabbi says that the Magen Avram is only talking about where that person doesn't know how to make Kiddush, or he's there's reasons why he can't do the Kiddush. That if for whatever reason he knows how to make Kiddush and he just doesn't want to drink any grape juice or wine, if that person can make Kiddush himself, he can't be mitzvah him. The gam bezehu kosev the adav l'kadosh b'piv the mitzvah by yosem shaluch. And he adds another item del Yorabbah because the concept of mitzvah yosem shaluch. So you see, by Kiddush there's a concept of yosem shaluch. Now over here we're talking about where the person making the Kiddush is not eating, because a lot of people hold that when you have a room full of individuals, that halacha is that one person makes Kiddush because of the concept of B'roi V'am Hadris Melech. So we're talking about that. We're not talking that this guy is going to be one kiddush, but this guy has to be yaitza. So he tells you to do it because it's impossible for whatever the reasons are for him to make. So if that guy can make kiddush, he's not allowed to ask you to make kiddush because of the mitzvah yaitza shaluchai. That's how the Eliyahu Rabbah brings down by the halachos of kiddush. Ach b'torah shloim medacha divrei Aruch Shulchan the Habesimin Rosh Hadiches Kosav Chaba Yosh Beis Hamedrash. If let's say they were sitting in Beis Hamedrash, Reveal or Echad Mevarach Kula. One person, I guess if it's for a mitzvah of going ahead and making a Bar Mari'esh, Kosav Ram the Avagam Tzukam Kul. And you have to, everybody has to be quiet at the same time. That once you have, by the case of this is a different halakha, he says it's better if they were learning Bittul Torah. You're going to say it's better, and you're going to say everybody should make a Bar Mari'esh. We say because of the Roivam had the smell. The Pshute needed to don't tell you by the Das or Chashuk Yishlam the Gamba needed to don't Saif Ikid did mitzvah by that Kai. At the end of the day, there's a mitzvah to have the blowing. Avladas hatar shloim lekin shum demitzvahs by b'shemei kain. Shemei kain mikra by mamish. In Cain, who had been eaten done a shemei tkiyas mikra by mamish. V'chein not ilav damin the gam pulus hat tkiyah hu k'chelik hamitzvah. I know what he means over here. I'm not sure how it's being without this. والشيخ مثلا مثل الشيخ كل شيء كأنه مثل بيمامش. Yeah. That's what he's trying to say. I don't know.
So when somebody blows the shofar, does he have to be
Huh?
When somebody from about the kid blows the shofar,
yeah.
Does he have to have mighty everybody else?
Everybody has that. Yeah, it's supposed
everybody
to
has an arm. If the shot is just the tkiyah, just the shmir, why does he have to have a mind? Obviously, there is something that.
So that's the question over here. Is it like a din of Shemei Ka'ina or not? That's exactly the question here. Do we say that over here? We say over here like the reading of the Megillah. It's a din of Shemei Ka'ina or not. So he says now because of Amata Fry. He adds a new ingredient. Let's say you have somebody who's a bet about the case, whatever that means. I'm not going to go into the explanation of that. Even though you personally can do your own blowing, you say, at the end of the day, do it yourself, even though the other guy knows better. It's better to let the other guy blow. The main part of the mitzvah is the listening of the blowing. And on that, there's no distinction. So therefore you should let it blow. It's not so simple whether you have to do it or not. At the end of the day, we hold the concept is this Shmuel and Shofar. Like Mat Ephraim says, it's better to let whoever's blowing is blowing. I mean, you're going in. First of all, you have when you're blowing Shofar in Shul, it's B'Roivam Hadrus Melech. You go, let's say you're going to go home, you're not going to be yoytz, you say, I'm mechaber not to be yoytz, you have a problem. That's number one. Number two, you have to have Mei Koilis and you have to do it on Malchus or Koilis and Shofar. So we already said that when you do it on the Shemoneh Esrei. Davening Shemoneh Esrei is the din on the tzibah pashtus. We already had that previously. That it's the tzibah who has to, you have to do it. If you do it privately, there are days who hold you can't blow. There's no mitzvah of blowing the shofar then. It's a mitzvah totally b'tzibah. So therefore, for all intents and purposes, even if you know how to blow shofar, it's very, very nice. You want to go home and your wife didn't go to shul, you can go blow for her, gesund to hate. But at the end of the day, you should be yotzeh from the tekiyas that are in shul.
Even if somebody knows how to blow, it doesn't have
Okay.
What about the Mila? Is there such a thing as a better voice? Same.
I hope not. What do you mean? A better voice. That's the chidduch, and that's it. But it's interesting, they don't mention a word about Mila here. Because your child is a good child. So at the end of the day, Mila is also not so simple. The mitzvah, because you can clear on the Mila. What's the Mila? We say that you man the father's man the son to be the boil to do the on him. So he makes him an agent. But what's the mitzvah? The mitzvah is, first of all, there's a difference between the son. The son, if the mitzvah Mila is a mitzvah Seish Bekaros, which is basically the toughest mitzvah Seish Bekaros, because it's different than Korban Pesach. There's only two mitzvahs that Yesh Bekaros: the mitzvah of Mila and the mitzvah of Pesach. But Pesach, you have to do it b'mezid, and you're supposed to be b'makom karev. You're not supposed to be b'tumah, whatever it is. And so basically, let's say you're in the Beis Hamikdash and you didn't do the Mila, you didn't do the Korban Pesach, so you chayav kares. Right? Nowadays nobody's chayav kares because there's no Beis Hamikdash. By Mila, the mitzvah, it's Mila Sheish Bekaris. Technically, if you think about it, when you chayav kares, we're not talking about the father, we're talking about the actual person, not his father. You only chayav kares when you die, because before that you can technically do it 10 minutes before you die, and you won't be chayav kares, right? So it's a very, very. That's the only time you have such a circumstance that it's. Let's say meaning this. Let's say it would be would it be impossible to give us wrong such a thing, right? Kares is b'dei shemayim, but it's impossible. You can't do it. So it's like a straw suffix to a certain extent, right? Okay, let's go, and we're going to go to the heart of the matter. This is a lot of different details. Probably the mitzvah of shofar is the most detailed of all. You know, you got to burn your chametz. Okay, you have to know how to bake matzahs. 18 minutes. How you do it? You take the flour and the water, the mayim shalanu. But the intricacies are not vast. Because it's the Seder, you have many different details, but there's not intricate halachas. The mitzvah of blowing shofar is the most intricate of all. Even the mitzvah of Mila, there's different parts. There's the Arla, and there's the Priya, and exactly how you do it, whatever. We're not going into that, but it's not intricate. Even shchita, to a certain extent, is A, B, C, D, and that's it. Shofar gets to be very intricate, very detailed to the minutiae. So let's learn about Kiyah Shofar, the actual Maisa mitzvah of the blowing of the shofar. So first of all, we know when you come after the break, wherever you go, if you have a break, you don't have a break, before Musaf, we have keys to be Yushiv, and there's Amir Islam Natseich Min HaMeitzim. Nahagim Loime Mizma Kol Ha'am Tikuchov Sheva Pom. We say the Tehillim, Kapitel Mem Zayin, we say the tilim of the blowing of the shofar 7 times. Koyd matkis, before the blowing of the shofar. Now there's different minhagim how to do it. We do it a little bit differently than most places, right? Lamaseyach, Mizmul David, we say 1 time and then the chazan ends. Many places they do 7 times and then they end it. So it's more elaborate here. But other places they do it differently. Lamaseyach, Mizmul David. He says the different psukim of min hameitza, v'oy psukim. Rosh the reason why we say these different psukim is because it has the Rosh Tevis of Korasab. Pasuk b'pasuk. Let's say the person is very slow, meaning the actual sibba said at 1, 2, 3. It took him 5 minutes, and it's going to take him 7, 8, 10 minutes. You can't say, okay, while there's a break in the middle of the Tkis to Miyushiv, the Baltcheya has to give himself some breath to be able to continue between the Tashrat and the Tashad. I'll say continue. You don't make any hefsek. Meaning, it's a nice thing, but it's not what you call ma'akiv the mitzvah, and you're not supposed to make any hefsek in between. So therefore, if you don't do it quick enough, you don't finish the Lam Natseyach. Okay, so let's look a bit about this, and we'll try to understand. Kosev Hamat Afraim, Oyim Kol Sibiyacha, Kapitel Mem Zayin Betil Lam Natseyach, Kol Am Tikachov, Ad Gemar Mizbe Sheva Pa'am V'achach Mispal B'lachus Tefillah Kitzara, Kakosev B'Svarim, V'achach Oyim HaMakra V'atekei Pasuk Min HaMeitzah, Kol Shemata, Baruch HaShulchan V'aminig Loim Mitzvah Kol Ha'am Tikachov Sheva Pa'am Koyd Matkis before the Tkis, Yishmama Oretz Shelo Yishlim Sheva Pa'am Oyim Beis HaTkis. Some people who are not knowledgeable sometimes think that they can finish it off later. That it's prohibited to do that, meaning in the middle of the keys. You shouldn't make any type of a pause. Even saying Tehillim. It's only a tradition, it's not a halacha. Since there was some that added a caveat that let's not say it, that we shouldn't mess up anybody on their mitzvah of Tkiyah Shofar. Okay. Okay, so that's the Lamasech. Then it says, "Hatakeya tzorich lechavein lotzeis yidei chavosoi." The one who's blowing has to have intention to be moitzi. Whatever, however you say that in English. Everybody, and to be moitzi the sim v'abrachis with the brachos. They have the keys. It's enough that he has intention with his mind. He doesn't have to say to be moitzi the oilam. It doesn't work that way. You can say, you can say you want to do it. How and also the ones who listen have to also be yoitzer. Meaning, even though you didn't say, okay, I'm going to be yoitzer with the shofar. The kavanah that he came there and we know his intention is, it's a normal thing. Meaning, just like when you go to Kiddush, and someone's making Kiddush for you, You don't say, okay, now I'm going to be yotze from this person. It's a natural thing. It's an instinct that you want to be yotze. That's good enough. You don't have to actually say, even in your mind, mainly the one who's being yotze. Not every time. You yotze people, you can make a kiddush private. But the one who is actually being yotze, it's a given that that's what you want to do. What are you doing there in the first place? And therefore, you don't have to say it or even think it outright, unless you say beferish, I don't want to be yotze the mitzvah. We say that you yotze the mitzvah. It's like by kochi. If you don't have a machshava, then you're going to go ahead and burn the carbon on the mizbeach today. We know this did a pickle. You're going to do it tomorrow. What happens if you didn't do a stam or shloi l'shmo, whatever it is? We say that you're doing it because that you want to go with the normal way of doing things. In the same fashion with being moitzi, yotze, it's the same thing. Okay, now, we'll continue this dimension more tomorrow, and we'll go more into the intricacies. We only have 3 nights left: Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. I'm going to go into the intricacies. I don't think I'll get to Shram Trua in the intricacies of what a key is all about. Let's share it by you. I'll do the Shram Trua.